Okay, empty panel. Polls, here we are. And Nir is also here ready to share with us his wonderful presentation. I saw Nir also enjoyed the panel discussion and was really happy about that. We'll ask Nir just now how he feels about it. Okay, Nir, are you here?
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, can hear you. Sorry for making you wait, but I saw that you
No,
enjoyed this panel discussion, right?
actually, I really enjoyed it, and I don't know, guys. I mean, Log from Home organizers, you did a great job because I'm going to speak a lot about MT and how to train machine translation agents, so that I couldn't ask for a better context for my session.
Yeah, really nice. It's a hot topic, what to say. Uh,
Right.
so Nir, let me just give a kind of introductory view so you get started, right? So Nir's the head of strategy at OneHourTranslation, and his topic will be about how to find your identity as an LSP. I think everybody heard about OneHourTranslation and how it has been evolving from a generalist transactional LSP to a machine translation training partner for some of the world's largest online companies. So yeah, Nir, it's time for you. Giving the mic to you, you can now share the screen. And just to remind
Wonderful.
our attendees to send your questions in our Q&A session. We'll be glad to answer your questions after Nir finish his presentation. So give the mic to you.
All right, great. So I'm going to share my screen. We don't have a lot of time, so I'll try to be very precise and to the point. And let me start by brief introduction about myself. I'm the head of strategy at OneHourTranslation. My current role, I'm typical strategy role. So I'm leading the strategy for the company, initiating new growth engines, and responsible for the strategic partnerships. I'm actually new to the localization world. In the past, I worked at Fiverr, the largest freelance marketplace for digital services, went IPO last year, and was a strategy consultant in an Israeli leading consulting firm. Um, Other than that, I enjoy Netflix, Spotify, and Twitter. And so we also have participants from Spotify in the event, so that's awesome. And a lot of backpacking. So I'm either traveling or planning my next big trip. So that's a little bit about me, just as an intro, so you'll get to know me a bit. Why? Let's start with a question. Right. So why does a clear identity as an LSP really important? Um, we thought a lot about it for OneHourTranslation, and after a few the experience that we gained, we discovered a few insights that I would like to share with you. One is we found that when you have a clear identity, we find clients coming to us, and not, instead of us chasing them, trying to win the business, that it goes the other way around. So that's one thing. Second thing is that you gradually become a trusted advisor. So it's not just about, here's the job, please do it and send it us back, but you become a real partner. When you become really good at something, then the clients are looking for your feedback. We have a clear and getting clearer unique selling proposition over our competition. And I think the one thing that is very important is that once we actually win the business in the niches that we're expanding to, the fulfillment process is actually pretty easy to handle. So it all comes down to more markets and more clients that we're winning because we're expanding to specific niches. And I want to take this session to pick one niche that we did very well in the past few years, and kind of share how we got there and what was the logic behind it. So let's move on. The question is, how do you identify the right niche for you? And when we started, and when OneHourTranslation was started, it started really as almost a B2C company. So started in 2008, it was 3 college friends that had this idea of let's connect professional translators with translation buyers over the internet, something that's quite new at the time. And the idea was that they focused on 2 main things. One was to build a very diversified and large freelance community of professional translators. And the second was to invest in technology. So technology was really the core of OneHourTranslation. This is what, at the time, really differentiated us between OneHourTranslation from the traditional translation agencies at the time. And we grew with time. So it started very, very B2C. With time, we went up market and serving now more and more enterprise clients. And we always remain generalists. And this is an important topic. So we operated in a lot of countries. We served many different verticals. We're not specifically focused on one. Many different language pairs that we supported. And basically was kind of seen as a translation one-stop shop. We could translate your game, but also your privacy policy and your legal contract and your marketing materials and everything. That was good to a certain point. And then we started to think of what niches, what small areas in the market we can expand into. And the truth is that we did 3 main things right from the beginning, and that was the traditional way. One is that we spoke with the industry experts. And to be telling the truth, we are blessed as an industry to have such knowledgeable and smart consultants and experts in this industry. I'm guessing some of them are here participating in this conference, and they gave us a lot of insights and interesting direction to think about. The second is we listened to the trends in the market. So we spoke with a lot of clients, we read a lot of articles, and really tried to see where the market is going because we want to be in the right place. And we also did a lot of analysis, segmentation, market sizing, all those textbooks methodologies. The interesting part, and this is what I want to share with you, is our secret sauce. What was really proven for us to be very, very helpful. One is that we listen to our clients. So we actually, and I'll speak more about it, we actually analyzed what we're doing today, what we're doing at this given time point, to really realize how our clients are using us and for what. The second part was to identify what unique assets do we have. So why does our clients really come to us and why are they choosing us? And the third part was to invest in our core platform and not just in the outside, not just in the marketing and the sales, but really invest in the product and the platform. And I'm going to touch a little bit about each one of those key ingredients and kind of walk through the story of how we did it. So one thing that was very important to us is that we looked at our product portfolio, the client portfolio and the type of projects that we did. And we realized that with time, we saw those projects that were very unique to us. So think of us as a transactional LSP, companies that translated websites and legal documents, all kinds of things. And then we realized that we have a specific type of project, which is growing from one year to the other, that we didn't really focus on. And when we investigated into it, we realized that there's a certain segment of corporate clients that couldn't manually translate all of their content. So they had huge volumes of content, and most of it either user-generated content that they didn't really control and was generated in a massive pace, or just endless product catalog with product descriptions and reviews and things like that. And these clients needed these instant real-time translation But they also took themselves very seriously. So they couldn't really accept the general generic machine translation products that were out there. And there's a need in the market, which has now become more and more clear, for high quality and scalable and affordable solution. And this is where clients came to us to help them in improving and training their machine translation engines. So it started from using our talent to evaluate which kind of talent and our expertise to evaluate which machine translation would work best for them and for their content and for their language pair. Then, if it was our clients, then train the engines with our translation memory and glossary and all the past projects that we did. But the third step was really to use us as a platform to translate unique pieces of content and feed the machine with the unique translation, with the unique pieces of content that no one translated before. And that could really make, and this is where our clients made the jump, the leap into machine translations that really performed much better than the generic ones. And they also had more and more requirements, just like the panel we heard before, in evaluating, in comparing, in data labeling, in really try to teach the machine more than just if it's good or bad translation. We invested a lot in our platform. The second thing I told you is that the reason that was really interesting for me as a strategy guy, the fact that we as a B2C player were so strong in this niche is interesting. But the fact is that as a generalist LSP, we actually had a lot of advantages that are relevant to be the partner for machine translation projects. We had a direct management and relationship with our professional translators, super fast turnaround time, pricing that was simple and affordable. We definitely supported high volumes and wide coverage of language pairs. And we had all our procedures of QA and verticals and all those points that are critical for an online generalist player actually became super important when you help major internet players to translate high volumes of user-generated content in a wide variety of topics to train their machine. So that was the moment when we realized that those unique projects that we're handling, they're not here by mistake. It's not a random choice of a localization manager somewhere. They actually came to us because we have something very unique in the market to offer. And what we did is that we invested a lot in our core capabilities. So a lot of players in the market, when they want to enter a niche, they spend a lot of time in focusing on marketing and sales. Like, get me those deals and win those clients, and here's the target, let's do it. But and we obviously did that as well, right? But we actually invested a lot on the platform, on our procedures and how we manage the community and the recruitment processes, in the how to brief high scale and high volume of projects. And once we did that, that really what was created, for us, created the edge on these projects. So we created a platform that was so flexible that we could really create really interesting and complex workflows where we get a source document from a client and then run it in two different engines. One we would post edit, the other we would evaluate versus a human translation that we did, but only after we went through a QA process, and then did the final evaluation and data labeling and all these pretty much advanced workflows, but in a scale and in a variety of language pairs. And that was something that investing in our platform in this way really made the fulfillment process super easy for us. And here it goes back to the identity question. Once we realized that we are positioned well to succeed in this niche, it actually was much bigger than just running those projects. It really changed us as a company. So we moved from very short-term engagement, remember the B2C model that we worked in the past, to long-term partnerships, from small transactional projects of $40 or $100 per client, moved for mega projects in the hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars per year from a single client, and moved from self-serve to high engagement, introduced salespeople and account managers and program managers, and really those internal functions that were necessary to handle those kind of relationship. And instead of just focusing on the matchmaking between a translation buyer and a freelancer, focused more on those advanced workflows and managing it in scale and variety of language pairs. Recently, we decided that this logic is very good for us. The logic of seeing what our clients are asking us to do and are using us for, understanding our assets and investing in our platform, that we realized that there's a lot of localization services that we can provide. Because everybody's saying that localization is more than just translation. And it's kind of funny because we're named OneHourTranslation. But the truth is that a lot of our clients, especially those with the high engagement and the rich relationship, are asking us to do a lot more than just translation. So if you ask me what's next for us, then we're gonna expand our service portfolio to areas where we see demand from our existing clients, and we feel that our platform of connecting freelancers and buyers and enterprises is something that can be used and be improved to deliver these kind of projects. So I'm gonna close this session with something for you, and this is the secret sauce, right? These are the 3 questions that we're asking ourselves when we want to expand our services to new niches. One is, what unique projects, something that is out of the ordinary, that your clients are asking from you to do? And the thing is that they're probably not getting it somewhere else. The second thing is, do you have the assets internally that will help you deliver such projects at substantial scale? And the 3 is, what can you do? The third question is, what can you do in order to improve your capabilities and really become number 1 delivering these projects? With that in mind, I think that this is my angle on, and a OneHourTranslation angle on choosing your identity. I'd love to open this to questions and speak a little bit about it. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
Nir, thank you very much for giving so much interesting, important information in a short time, and adjusting your presentation for us to keep up with the timing. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. It's an art, you know.
Well, I told you I was a management consultant. I love making presentations. It's just, for me, the whole idea, the whole purpose of this event is just the opportunity to create one more good-looking presentation.
I feel it, and I see our attendees in the chat also say that this presentation is great, and appreciating you. So let's take a look on the questions we have already in our Q&A part. So Nir, the question from Richard Varga: why did you choose to stop being a one-stop shop and begin finding a niche?
Right. So I will say this: we didn't really choose to stop being a one-stop shop. Okay. So still, our bread and butter, the business that that is the easiest and most clients know us for, is this, I would say, plain vanilla translation. A lot of companies, a lot of clients come to us and ask for it, but we realized that there are certain areas in the market that are left unanswered. And we were just happened to be in this really good starting point, just because our assets, not because of anything else, that clients were already asking us to provide such services. So it's an interesting concept. It's expanding our services to a niche. So it's kind of counterintuitive, but we see it as an expansion. We're not leaving everything we did behind and ditching it. We're just, this is part of our expansion strategy. So I hope that answers the question.
Okay, good. And if not, guys, you're welcome to join the Smartcat community and keep asking the questions, and Nir will help you to expand on that. So another question from Sultan Ghaznavi. Did you have to cut off any business streams in order to make these strategic changes? What did the revenue loss look like, and how was it justified, if any?
Right. So we didn't really cut business lines. So listen, with the business of 1 hour translation, the traditional, okay, the B2C model is still working great for us. We still have people that product managers and people in the marketing team and the delivery team that are working solely on that. So this is part of their business. It will never go away. So it's a service that we only see growing each year, and a lot of happy customers. We did dedicated resources to open up new and expand our product portfolio and our services portfolio. So as for 1 hour translation, this is really a matter of expansion and not just shifting. And I understand I think it's not an easy move, right? So I think what's interesting to say here is that we didn't expand it because we didn't have any other choice, right? It's not like our normal business was dying. We wanted to shift and find a different type of business to be working on. It was more the fact that we recognized that if we will invest in a specific niche, we'll be able to solve a real problem that not a lot of companies can solve as good as we are doing it today.
Good, thank you, Nir. We'll have to wrap up on that moment, and we'll ask Nir to answer the rest of the questions in Smartcat community.
Absolutely, I would love to do so. And as I said, I'm new to this industry, so I've been in strategy my whole life, but in localization, it's a new chapter for me. So I'd love to connect. LinkedIn, Smartcat forum. I love those discussions, and it's really important for me and really interesting. So thank you for being the host of such wonderful event.
Yeah, thank you for joining us today. It was a really great presentation.